Hi guys, Gil here, CEO of the Asset Center, the American Survival School and Emergency Training Center. I've been watching some videos from some friends, and several of them are talking about, wanting to come up with a different name than prepper for what they do. And, well, it kind of concerns me that some people put so much emphasis on a name of what they are, yet they, like the media, lump everything into one category. Any of you, if you believe in any sort of emergency preparedness, being prepared, being trained, you're a prepper, a wacko job. A doomsday prepper. You're looking for the end of the world. Well, that's not true. And the problem is the terminology a lot of them are using about disasters. They're lumping everything into one category. Just about everyone now is referring to the category HSTF, and that's something hitting the fan. But we know what that something is. It's manure. By any other name, still stinks. Anyways, so they refer to an HSTF as the it's going to be an HSTF event. It's the end of the world. Oh, it's a tornado come through. It's an HSTF. No, it's not. Okay. Let's get some things straight here. Basically, you got 4 types of events. Number 1, a simple emergency, unexpected birth, an auto accident, a tornado, minor flooding, in an area. This is localized around you. All right. The next one is also localized around you and maybe a little bit bigger sphere of influence. It's a life-changing event. Example, Hurricane Katrina was a life-changing event. It was not an HSTF. It wasn't affecting the entire nation. It didn't change everybody's life. All right? And so which brings us to the next one, which is SHTF, which is a pretty big, it affects not just one people, not a community, it affects the nation or the world. It is a short-term disastrous affecting everybody event. By short-term, I mean it will take several years to recover from. You think, well, that's not short-term. Well, yes, it is when you compare it with the final one, which is Twaki, the end of the world as we know it. It is the end of the world as we know it. That affects for decades. All right? And what would one of those be? Well, one of those would be an EMP, since a lot of them are talking about EMP right now. An EMP takes out the power grid, it goes down, which causes the refineries not to be able to function, which causes manufacturing not to be able to function, no fuel being made, no products being made, farmers can't harvest their food in volume they used to. That is an end of the world as we know it. That will result in a dramatic depopulation. And HSTF won't result in a dramatic depopulation. It may be a minor depopulation, and maybe thousands of people, maybe even 1 million people die throughout the United States or the world. But it does not mean it's the end of the world as we know it. We will recover in a couple of years. Trying to get things going here so you understand what I'm talking about here. A simple emergency, like I said, an unplanned birth on the freeway, a plane crash, the medical first responders refer to as a MCI, mass casualty incident, where you got on here in California, Highway 5 going to Central Valley, gets fogged out, and they wind up with 20, 30, 40 car wrecks down there. All big chain car. That is still a simple emergency on the grand scale. It's not a life-changing emergency as far as the fact that everything is changing for that area. It's just, hey, it happens all the time. They're used to it. The people involved, yeah, they could say, oh, this was a life-changing experience for me. Well, yeah, okay. But as far as classification of emergencies and disasters, no, it's not. A life-changing for multiple people, hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands or millions of people. That is a life-changing experience. All right? And it usually adds a life-changing experience, but as a whole, society recovers weeks, months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. Whereas SHTF, it affects just about the entire country. A lot of facilities, production, power, everything can be affected for 1, 2, 3, 5 years, 6 years, But recovery is on the books. It's going to happen. It's just going to take some time. Milwaukee, there's no guarantee that recovery will happen. Going back, EMP takes out the power grid. It doesn't have to be an EMP. It can be another natural disaster. We could have a severe freak winter storms in several locations. Transmission lines come down, power surges go, transformers start blowing, feedback to generators start burning up, and the entire grid is down for years. And it will be years if we start losing those big transformers and generators. Why? Because they're not made in the U.S. anymore. They're made overseas. And if it takes months, literally it takes months to get new ones. Now, if the power grid is down for months, what's that going to do to the rest of the United States? Think about it. No power, no fuel, no infrastructure services, water treatment plants are going to be down, sewer treatment plants are going to be down, most jobs are going to be down, internet's going to be down. It's going to be a major poofah for at least those months before those transformers get over here. By then, we've gone down, down, down. One thing hits another thing, domino effect. One thing just keeps on falling, causing more things to go wrong. And we've gone down into the, as the country was 400 years ago, 300 years ago. We've lost a lot of our industrial capabilities. We don't have the skills as a country to go back to a non-electrical power system. Yes, we can make steam engines, and we could get start creating steam-powered, water-powered electrical plant stuff. But still, problem is, all the transformers are gone. There's a lot of things going on that is going to affect it. I know I'm kind of rambling here. I'm trying to get everything out. I didn't want to have to write it all down. But I want you all to know, basically, there are 4 types of events. Your simple emergencies, your life-changing events, SHTF, and TWAWKI. And a lot of stuff people are referring to as an HSTF event goes to the first 2 and into the last one. HSTF doesn't cover them all. It is a limited time frame recovery. That's why we have the end of the world as we know it, because that's the end of the world as we know it. It's going to take decades to recover. We may not recover in our lifetimes. It may not recover in our children's lifetime. So that is not a SHTF event. That is a TWAWKI event. Now, in planning for your events, what should you be planning for? Start with the basics. Simple emergencies. Localized crop failure for a year or 2. unexpected pregnancies, loss of job, a big dip in the economy. That type of stuff can be simple emergencies or life-changing events. Those are the things you plan for first. All right? Just because you're planning for those first doesn't mean you totally disregard long-term stuff. When I worked at Homeland Security, I helped create something called a base plan. It's the basic emergency plan. Then upon that, we built tactical response plans, specifically focused plans, a pandemic event, communicable diseases, hijackings, IEDs at public buildings, earthquakes, wildfires, floods, winter storms. Each tactical response plan was aimed at a specific event. That's probably one of the best ways you can do for yourselves. Plan a base plan to cover your simple emergencies and some life-changing emergencies. Then start nailing your tactical response plans for other events. All right, I hope this makes sense, and I hope you get something from it. So, and if you do, even if you don't, share it with your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors. Maybe they will understand what I'm saying if you don't, and they'll be able to explain it to you. Because I know I speak one language, and I can be talking to my own family. One person will get it, the others won't, and they go, oh, this is what he's saying. So hopefully you'll understand it. You'll be able to help other people understand it, or they'll help you understand it. But share it so everyone has a chance to get prepared. And you especially want to share it with other people for a very selfish reason. That reason is your family. If your friends and everybody else are prepared and they start building up their own supplies and stuff, they're not going to come after yours, and they're not going to take food out of your family's mouth. All right? So that's why you want to share it. You want to get everybody prepared. All right? So if you like my messages, any of my videos, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you're someone that someone had shared this with, please hit that little red subscribe button. When the little bell pops up next to it, as the button turns gray, click that bell, and that way you'll get notifications of videos when I post them. All right? And as always, stay happy, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.